Cosmetic help could be on the way.
Don't let time define your lines. Prime Aesthetics is giving away a $500 gift certificate to one lucky winner. This gift certificate can be applied towards Botox or fillers. It's easy to enter. Click on contests at WPKYonline.com.
It's an excellent time to purchase a new set of tires and take advantage of the new mail-in rebates of up to $200 on selected tires. Good tread depth and the correct air pressure in your tires can lead to improved fuel economy, increased handling and safety, more responsive braking, and a smoother ride. All things that make for a great summer road trip. Trice Hughes in Princeton is the one-stop shop for everything your vehicle needs. For more information, visit tricehughes.com. That's tricehughes.com.
Goodwin Insurance Agency and Woodall Agency have great news. Effective January 1st, they have joined forces to provide even more options for all your insurance needs. Together, they provide the best prices and coverage from top-rated insurance companies and insure all lines of insurance. See Tori Hammett or Fred Foltz or go to insurewithgoodwin.com for more information. Don't pay too much for your insurance. Let them shop for you and save today.
For a delicious meal, try Kay's Kitchen in Princeton. They have great home cooking, just like Mom and Grandma used to do. Enjoy cook-to-order breakfast every day, all day. Daily lunch specials include favorites like open-faced roast beef, grilled chicken tenderloins, country fried steak, smoked pork chops, and catfish and shrimp on Fridays. All your favorite veggies, too. And don't forget Kay's homemade desserts. Open Monday through Thursday, 5 to 2, Friday, 5 a.m. to 8 p.m., and Saturday, 5:30 to 11. Kay's Kitchen, 501 North Jefferson Street, Princeton, 1 block from the courthouse.
April showers bring May flowers. Hi, this is Pam Haverlock with Cozy Living Interiors and Boutique. Loving all the beautiful greenery and flowers blooming. You don't have a green thumb? No worries. Here at Cozy Living in our home decor, we have gorgeous flowers and greenery to accent any area you want to brighten up. And guess what? It's 15% off. All our new furniture is buy one, get the second one of the same value or less for half off. Come see us. We're located at 235 Northfield Drive, right next to the bowling alley. We are everything a home should be.
This is Hub. We are your local U-Haul dealer.
Shopping can be overwhelming. At Joe & Co. Boutique, it's their priority to get to know you. Enjoy a personal, stress-free shopping experience, making you feel valued as a customer and person. Joe & Co. is a size-inclusive boutique carrying clothing and gift favorites such as Judy Blue, Vintage Havana, Savannah Jane, and Kendra Scott. Located on Fairview Avenue in Eddyville, or shop joeandcoboutique.com.
Hey, besties. It's your girl, Jo. Can't wait to see you at the boutique.
It's time for your SportsEdge.com Sideline Report with Todd Griffin. Talking sports and more here on 1580, 103.3 WPKY and worldwide at WPKYonline.com. Here's your host, Todd Griffin.
Good morning, everyone. The Sideline Report is on the air from 1035 West Main Street in Princeton. Thanks for tuning in today. Got a busy show lined up. Coming up a little bit, we'll be talking to Shane Burns, pitcher for Murray State, and, of course, a former Caldwell County baseball and football standout. We'll talk to him in just a bit. Also coming up on the show, Jay Davis will be here to talk about some opportunities to officiate high school sports this fall. So we'll talk to Jay about that. Scott Brown of YourSportsEdge.com and WKDZ Radio will also be on the show. We'll talk to Scott about everything coming up in spring sports in the postseason, so stay tuned for that. Want to start the show, though, by listening to some audio from Emma Talley from yesterday's LPGA match play event out in Las Vegas. Talley defeated Jennifer Kupcho 2-1 in her first match. Talley will be on the course again just after lunch today, taking on Stacy Lewis in her second match. She'll have another match on Friday, and if she wins her group, she gets to move on to the round of 16 this weekend out at the LPGA match play event. But after picking up the win over Jennifer Kupcho yesterday, Emma Talley was called into the LPGA media room and got to meet the media.
Here with Emma Talley, a 2-1 win over Jennifer Kupcho. We were talking earlier, You said you went all out there on the front nine.
Yes.
Tell us about those first 9 holes and how solid you were playing.
Yeah, I really came out strong, and that really helped the day, kind of set the tone for myself. Obviously, Jen's a really good player, so that kind of gave me some confidence in the first few holes. I think I shot 5 or 6 under on the front 9, which was like, man, I would take that any day. So, yeah, I came out strong, and that really helped the back 9.
And then the back 9, Jennifer did tighten it back up. I mean, you made the turn 4 up. She got it down to never closer than 2 up, but maybe a little closer than you would have liked.
For sure. I was trying to keep the gas pedal down, but I let a couple go on 10 and 11. But like I said, I'm playing good golf, refreshed after a week off, and excited to keep playing.
What is it about match play that really seems, I mean, you're always smiley, but I mean, from USGA, amateur, NCAA days to now, what is it about match play that really seems to suit you?
Yeah, I really do. I was telling my dad I love match play. I'm not sure what it is. I'm very competitive. It kind of gets me in a good frame of mind of like every hole is a new hole. Instead of kind of keeping score, you're trying to win every single hole. And I need to get that perspective in stroke play, but we can work on that after the week's over.
Any questions from Greg with the local paper?
Have you ever played Shadow Creek before this week?
I have not played Shadow Creek before. This is my first. I didn't get to play last year, so first experience. It's a wonderful golf course. The green contours are amazing. I don't even know who designed this course, but absolutely incredible golf course. Very hard.
So how do you explain first competitive round on such a hard course?
I'm sorry?
How do you explain your first competitive round on such a hard course going out?
Yeah.
4 or 5 under on the front.
Yeah, I mean, it was great. Like I said, I played really well. I kind of did something I usually don't do. Last night, I kind of looked at where all the pins were and kind of made a game plan, just because then you don't have to constantly be thinking when you get up there, because you got to think around this golf course. And so, like I said, I played really well today, and hopefully that continues.
How much are you focusing on your opponent? Are you watching what Jennifer's doing, or are you just in a zone there at the beginning?
I think a little bit of both. Obviously, if someone knocks it close, you're trying to stick it closer, those kind of things. But for the most part, when you're playing well, you just kind of go with it and see how many birdies you can make, because you never know when it can change. Just like Jen made 2 birdies on the back 9, you just never know when it's going to flip. So you just got to keep going and kind of not pay attention to the scorecards.
And what do you think you learned today that you'll use the rest of the week?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's great to get one tournament round under my belt out here since it was the first time playing. I feel very confident in my game right now. I've been working really hard the last 6 months. So I think just keep on doing what I'm doing. I need to work on the green speeds a little bit, and we'll see it tomorrow.
Thank you.
Emily?
I have one. I see you're playing with Stacy Lewis tomorrow, who is the Solheim Cup captain this year. And yesterday, she mentioned that she was going to be doing a little scouting while she was out here. Does that make you nervous? Are you excited to play with her and potentially impress her?
Yeah, of course. Stacy has been a mentor to me for a long time. She when I was turned pro, she actually took me out to dinner, her and her husband, and sat me down and kind of gave me the ins and outs. So the whole goal this year was to get on Solheim Cup. I'm pretty far out right now, but like I said, I feel good about my game. Excited to play against her and hopefully beat the captain.
Changing the subject a little bit, when you won NCAAs, was it match play yet, or was it still
It was not,
play?
Yeah. So it was, I don't know how it works now, but when I played, it was all stroke play for the individual title, and then it turned into match play after that. So it was just individual when I won that.
But you're still a national champion. What is it like watching the NCAAs going on right now, the finals going on right now, and seeing that next generation? What memories does it bring back for you?
It's so good. I mean, I loved college golf so much. Go Bama, Roll Tide. But it was incredible. College golf is the best. You've never been on a team all year round, and playing with the girls that want to beat you every single day just makes you better. I mean, I think we have 7 girls out on tour on the LPGA from the teams I played on. So we were really strong. The men's team was really strong when I was there, and you really can't get better than Alabama. It was amazing.
And speaking of the men's team, JT winning last week, I know you're really good friends with him. Did you reach out to him at all? And do you take any inspiration from, it's been a while between wins for him, what he's pushed through?
Yeah, funny enough, I was watching the last round, and then I usually don't do this, but I listened to everything he said until he literally walked off the camera. And I looked at Patrick, my fiance, and said, man, this gives me like so much motivation, because up until when we turned pro, we were kind of doing the same things, and I think he has 15 wins now, and I have 0, so I have a lot of catching up to do, but it's great watching him. I got chills watching his family. They're so sweet, and it was so exciting to see a Kentucky boy win again.
And then one last thing, you mentioned Patrick, the fiance. You got a special new thing for the wedding. You got the dress done. You got the plans done. You just seem like you're in a good place right now. How are you feeling, Emma?
Yeah, I think having such a good mindset off the course, it always translates on the course. I'm in a really good place right now off the golf course, and really it's translated. So like I said, hopefully it keeps going. I'm very excited to get married and hopefully keep playing good golf.
Awesome. We'll go back to that lunch I stole from you.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
That's Emma Talley from yesterday's press conference out in Las Vegas after she defeated Jennifer Kupcho 2-1 in the LPGA match play event. Emma takes on Stacy Lewis out there this afternoon just after lunch. We're going to roll right on the show. Joining us now on the telephone, former Caldwell County Tiger standout and Murray State University pitcher Shane Burns joins us. And Shane, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Todd. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. You guys played up in the OVC tournament yesterday in Lexington. Did not get a win, so the season came to an end. But tell us kind of how the 2022 baseball season went for you guys.
Yeah, it started out really well. We had a lot of ups and downs. We never could really find kind of that middle field that everyone's looking for. You don't want to have too many ups, too many downs. And unfortunately, that's what we had. We started out, I think, like 8-0, 9-0. Hot start for us, and and then we traveled to Bama, a good Alabama team that's actually hot right now in the SEC tournament. Dropped 3 there as well, and I think we picked it back up. Kind of was 500 for a couple of weeks, and then we started right into OVC play, and then we dropped 8 in a row, I believe, 8 or 9 in a row. And obviously, if anybody knows, that's not the way you want to start conference play. Is being 0-8 or a 1-8 in conference, and then we kind of recollected halfway through the season, and we kind of did the opposite. I think we won 3 straight series, and we were right there in the middle of the pack, and that puts us right there at the end of April, 1st of May, and unfortunately we just kind of had that up and down roller coaster again, and never really could get any momentum going, and we just faced Tennessee Tech this past weekend here in Murray, and they're hot. They're swinging it really well, they're pitching really well, and that's what you got to have this time of the year. And unfortunately, we drew them the first round yesterday in Lexington, and they got the best of us. I'm pretty sure they went on to beat Moorhead last night. So anytime you can get hot this time of year, you got to like your chances.
Well, it seemed like the OVC had a lot of good baseball teams this spring.
Yeah, they did. I was talking to some of the guys. We only have 8 or 9 OVC teams now that Jack State and EKU has left the conference. But I was telling the guys, from 1 through 8, I felt like this conference tournament, is up for grabs. Like I said, right now you got a 6 seed that is hot with Tennessee Tech, and you got some good SEMO teams and Belmont teams, and it's just like I said, this time of year, if you're doing all the right things well, then you're going to get rewarded for it. And I think you could see a 5 or 6 seed potentially win the OVC tournament, which obviously is not very common when you have 1s and 2s that don't play till Thursday afternoon.
Well, a bit of an historic season there for the Murray State Racers in that it was the final one in the Ohio Valley Conference. Did that really come up very much this season? Did you guys think about that as you were going around playing road games?
Oh, we kind of did. We talked about some of the older guys, some of the guys that's been here, like me, 4, 5, 6 years, whatever. We kind of reminisced on the times that we've been to these parks or, these universities and stuff. But, for the most part, we was just trying to take it one weekend at a time and, try to go win us OVC championship. But obviously, we came up short of that. And, but yeah, we kind of embraced it. It's special playing in the OVC. Some great teams, and just took it one week at a time. We made these road trips.
Yeah, I was up at Eastern Kentucky University not too long ago for the All-A Classic State Baseball Tournament, and it was really weird seeing all the big A-Sun logos all over everything up there. It's going to be equally strange, I think, next year at Murray State, seeing those big Valley logos, the Valley in great big letters all over Murray State. Yeah,
the Missouri Valley, they have a lot of talent up there, and in that conference, and I think once we get back here in the fall, I think everybody's going to be ready for that challenge. I think we played maybe 6 or 7 games this year against the Missouri Valley competition, and I think we ended up being like 6-3 against those teams. I know we played Valpo, Illinois State, Evansville, and SIU, and they're all great teams. I know SIU, I think maybe have won the regular season conference, and I think we split the season series with them, and then we just recently came off a big win against Evansville, which I think they just finished, recently, I think 2nd place in the regular season. So, yeah, it's a great conference. They got some great teams, and I think we're looking forward to the challenge. Yeah, in a couple of years, we're going to see Oklahoma and Texas in the SEC, so you don't know where you're going to see teams anymore. Exactly. I think a lot of people, I don't know, people moving conferences right now, but I tell you, when you have those 2 extra teams added to the SEC, the SEC is already, a stacked conference. So it's going to be exciting to watch that baseball unfold and, even other sports in the SEC just because SEC is so strong. Talk about your season a little bit. You went 4-0 this year. What were your thoughts on kind of how you pitched this season? Yeah, that's a great question. This past fall, I was battling kind of some injuries in the fall, kind of some shoulder issues and tightness and stuff. So I didn't get as much work in this past fall as I would like to. It's kind of an up and down fall, and then kind of rolling into the spring. I was trying to get back underneath my feet from the innings I missed in the fall with team practice and stuff like that. So for me, it was all about trying to get some consistency, right out of the gate, which is really hard to do at this level. I maybe started out first 2 or 3 weekends, kind of strong, and then, kind of was, like I said, like all year is up and down for us. We never could find that middle ground. If we were pitching well, we were hitting well. If we were pitching bad, we were hitting bad. So there was no in between. There was no hitters picking us up. When we were, throwing up 8 or 9 runs on the board, or vice versa. We couldn't hit our stride altogether. And, for me, it was, a lot of inconsistency. When I was good, I was good. And when I was bad, I was bad. So, and like I said, that's just part of, playing in D1 baseball because, the guy that steps into the batter's box is, trying to get a hit off you. He's not an easy out. So, something's got to give. And unfortunately, at times it wasn't on my side. You were on back-to-back second region championship teams at Caldwell County. On one hand, that feels like it was just yesterday. On the other hand, though, it was 5 years ago. Are you starting to feel a little old? I don't know about that, but I sure miss it. We went up to Lexington this weekend, and we played at Lexington Legends Park, where we always hosted the state tournament. I sure miss the guys. And, reached out to a couple of guys, just letting them think about them, and just reminisce for sure. The first few minutes I was there, and it just took me back to where everything started, and I'd go back in a heartbeat and play in the blue and gold for sure. Yeah, you got to play, I believe, in 2 state tournaments up there, and I think 2 All-A Classic state tournaments up at Lexington. Yeah, I think that's correct. I think, unfortunately for us, when we went up there for the regional tournament, us being a smaller school, I think we ended up drawing Scott County both years, and it's just unfortunate for us, but we went up there, obviously competing, and we always have great memories up there, even though we didn't have much success up there. And then, like I said, the All-A, I think we made it to the All-A championship game and ended up getting beat. But, like I said, that's just part of sports. But like I said, I've always cherished moments that, I had the blue and gold on and in the trips to Lexington. Yeah, I think the worst thing that ever happened to those Caldwell County baseball teams that you were on were some absolutely horrible draws at the state tournament. Yeah. Anytime you get the top 16 teams in the state, you're going to run into a big team, a private school or whatever. But and when you get up there, like I said, everybody's good, and you got to execute when you get up there. And obviously we didn't, but it was always fun.
Were you able to keep up with the Tiger baseball team much this spring?
I was, and I was really proud of them when I saw they won a district tournament. I actually had a couple of the players off the team, text me, letting me know they won a district, and obviously in the regional tournament, I know Coach Dyer and Josh, works with them day in and day out, and I'm super proud of them. Anytime you can win a district title and make a run at a regional title, that's always something special.
Now, you also played football at Caldwell County. Are there any days where you want to get the old pigskin out and see if you can still sling it?
Yeah, absolutely. Some of the guys on the pitching staff here, we take a football with us, and if the position players are taking BP or ground balls and our work stuff for the day, we'll get it out and we'll throw it around the outfield. And it definitely takes me back to the days that I played football, and I miss it for sure, just because our community's so well supportive with the things that we do with football, and like I said, I'll cherish those moments as well, just as much as I did baseball. So yeah, it was always a great moment when we throw football in the outfield, just because it takes you back to those memories as well.
Yeah, is that sort of a warm-up drill for pitchers sometimes to get the football out and throw it around?
Yeah, that's kind of what we use it for. We use it's kind of a weighted ball type thing is what we do. It's good for your shoulder, good for your arm, just to kind of warm you up. Obviously, a football weighs a lot more than a baseball, so anytime that you can, throw something heavier than a baseball just to kind of get your body, more of explosive type drill, that's kind of what we use it for. And obviously, it's fun anytime you can, throw away or throw a football. It's because, we touch a baseball, 6 or 7 days a week, that, throwing something else with a different sport may be good, just to get out there and have fun with the guys as well.
Okay, now the big question, once you get finished playing baseball, what kind of future plans are you looking at? Would you like to stay involved in sports in some way down the road?
Yeah. Whenever that time comes, I want to come back and probably be in our community, be local. I haven't thought too much far ahead with that, but I definitely want to get in coaching, and see where that goes. Anytime that you play baseball or football or basketball for so many years, that mentality is in your blood, and you want to keep it going for sure. But there's also a time, I feel like, for college athletes or whatever, that you may have to step back for a little bit and just kind of decompress from all the years that you put in. But yeah, for sure, anytime that I'll have an opportunity to come back and give back to the community that helped me get to where I'm at today, I'll for sure step in there and enjoy it as well.
Okay, just one more question. How are our Cardinals doing this year?
Well, I know we're pretty injured right now. I've been keeping up with them best I can. I know we got Milwaukee coming to town with Wayno on the bump, but I mean, I like our chances. We got a lot of young talent coming up, doing a lot of hitting, a lot of pitching for us. So as long as we can stay healthy, which I think that's kind of the main thing for any major league team. So I think as long as we stay healthy, I like our chances.
Yeah, it feels like anymore, if you can just get to the playoffs and get hot, that's kind of the route you want to try to take.
Yeah, that's it. I think, keep up with the SEC tournament right now with Kentucky and Alabama. They're both 11 and 12 seeds, and I think they're 3 or 4-0 combined. So as long as you get hot at the right time, you can beat anybody, and that's just kind of part of the nature of the game.
All right, Shane, appreciate you coming on the show today. Know you guys were busy getting back from Lexington, and glad you could find some time to squeeze in and be on the show with us this morning.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Todd. Thanks.
Thanks, Shane. Have a great day.
You too.
That's Shane Burns, Murray State pitcher, former Caldwell County Tiger standout. Appreciate him coming on the show this morning. We need to get to a timeout, but we'll be back with more as we continue on the Sideline Report here on 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
Get into shape and feel good at Trilogy Performance Sports. Trilogy offers a wide range of family-friendly classes as well as personal training, yoga, gymnastics, sports training, cardio, and weightlifting. Trilogy has something for everyone. Trilogy now offers an app with online workouts, live classes, nutrition tracking, and more. Search Trilogy Performance Sports in your app store. Use sign-up code 1824. For app info and more, follow them on Facebook.
Life is filled with moments. Moments we share with those we love, worry about, and strive to protect the most. At Woodman Life, we provide life insurance and retirement products to help protect you and your family so that you can enjoy all the moments to come.
This is Josh Ray, your local Woodman Life agent. Come see us at 1009 West Main Street or give us a call at 365-6111.
Certain eligibility and age restrictions apply. Woodman of the World Life Insurance Society, Omaha, Nebraska.
Are you struggling to afford health care medications? Let Health First help you. Whether you are insured, uninsured, or underinsured, you will still be cared for at Health First Community Health Center. We offer financial and prescription assistance to all those that qualify, which is based on income and household size. Contact our office at 1-877-667-7017 for more information, or visit our website, healthfirstchc.net. Same-day appointments and walk-ins are welcome. At Health First, your health is our first concern.
If you can't get comfortable enough to sleep at night and wake up feeling tired, then it may be time for a new mattress. It's Better Sleep Month at Herb Hayes Furniture and Mattress. Get $400 off their Serta Arctic mattress with edge-to-edge support and sleep cooler, even on the hottest night. Herb Hayes Furniture and Mattress, where you always get the best selection, the best furniture at the best price.
It's all at your fingertips now at WPKYOnline.com. Local video, local news, local sports, local weather information, and of course, contests. Plus, you can listen to us on your smart device. Just click the Listen Now button. We've made it easier to find your favorite information. WPKYOnline.com.
At YourSportsEdge.com, we strive every day to continue to bring you the gold standard in high school sports coverage with more on your teams and your players.
Or did it show up there?
And while they are not gold, those Crystal Awards we have won for doing what we love to do are pretty cool too.
That's something you see every day.
The Kentucky Broadcasters Best Digital Product Award winner. YourSportsEdge.com.
This is the Sideline Report on 1580, 103.3 WPKY. Thanks for tuning in today. Appreciate Shane Burns for coming on the show this morning, joining us from Murray State University. Also appreciate having Emma Talley's interview from the LPGA Match Play event on the show this morning. Again, Emma's getting ready to play out in Las Vegas today. She'll take on Stacy Lewis in the second round of the LPGA Match Play. Actually, it's 3 matches of the first round, and the winner of each group gets to move on. So good luck to Emma. She beat Jennifer Kupcho 2-1 yesterday, and will play Stacy Lewis today. Need to squeeze in one more really quick break here on the show. Back with Jay Davis and Scott Brown right after this here on 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
Raider Auction Company, Hopkinsville, buys and sells farm equipment every day. Find out more at RaiderAuctionCompany.com. That's ROEDER AuctionCompany.com.
From the Weather Edge Weather Center, 60% chance of showers, thunderstorms today, a high near 74 degrees. 50% chance of scattered showers, thunderstorms tonight, low 56. Scattered showers on Friday with a high temperature up to 70 degrees. Sunshine back in the forecast Saturday with a high near 78. Once again, our forecast for today, 60% chance of showers, thunderstorms, today's high 74.
Need cash fast? Contact ABC Finance now.
Does your honey-do list of repairs around the house seem to keep growing? What if you go to get your mower out and it will not start?
Whatever it is, you want to resolve your problem quickly and get back to regular life.
Hi, this is Savannah Seymour at the Princeton ABC Finance location.
This is Todd Morris at the Hopkinsville location.
We can help you buy a new mower or take care of those honeydews.
At ABC Finance, we provide loans up to $15,000.
We are locally owned and staffed, and decisions are made quickly, usually within an hour.
No appointments needed. Walk-ins are welcome.
You can even give us a call and we will take your application over the phone.
Or apply online at abcfinanceonline.com.
Our commitment is to make the loan process quick, easy, and stress-free. We can even consolidate all loans into one easy payment. For more information and for great money and credit tips, like ABC Finance on Facebook.
All loans subject to normal credit approval.
This is the Sideline Report on 1580, 103.3 WPKY. Once again, thanks for tuning in this morning. As we roll on, Jay Davis has joined us in the studio. And Jay, good morning. Thanks for coming in and being on the show today.
Good morning, Todd. Scott, good to hear your voice, too.
Yep, good to hear you too, Jay. Good morning.
Yeah, thanks. That's Scott Brown, also on the show with us, and we're going to take it up to the top of the hour with you on the Sideline Report. And Scott, you can jump in wherever you want to. And Jay, we're going to start with you looking for high school sports officials for this fall.
Both Todd, both you and Scott last year tolerated me trying to do some recruiting, and I've spread it. I've talked to all the assigners for all sports. And I know both of you know this spring there were several times where baseball and softball games were canceled. They were scheduled and then had to be canceled because there was a shortage of officials. We did not have that in our area last year in football at the varsity or high school level. We did have it at the middle school level a couple times. So we're trying to do our best to recruit officials for, in the fall, it's high school volleyball, high school soccer, girls and boys, and football. And then also in the fall, there's a middle school softball schedule and a middle school baseball schedule. So all of the sports are working. Basketball plays in the summer. The schools can now, they'll start their scrimmages next week, and we'll scrimmage all the way up till the dead period. So anybody that's interested in high school basketball or learning about getting into the officiating on high school basketball, this is a good time to approach that, because there are games to be worked and people to help you if you want to learn the mechanics of football or of basketball. The biggest element right now, guys, that we're suffering through is the average age of my football staff is 52 years old. And I pull it up, way up, myself, because I still have to, there are times when I work. In the last 3 years of assigning, we've had 7 new people come on the staff. A couple of them were young, a couple of them had been coaches or their sons had gotten out of playing football. Of those 7 people, only 3 of them are left. In 2 years of trying to work middle school and freshman games or JV games, a couple of them, they just decided it wasn't worth being out there. The Second Region Policy Board has given us a significant raise in the last 2 years. Football got one 3 years ago. But the rest of the sports got a nice raise last year across the board in all of them. And I'm sure you observed in baseball this year, they put a new JV rule in to try to shorten the JV games because we had umpires that were going on the field at 5:30 and getting off the field at 11 o'clock and then got to drive home. So we're looking for these seniors that are getting out of school, the college kids that are coming home for the summer can work summer ball. We're looking for anybody that thinks they might have a desire to officiate any sport, and I can put them in contact with the different assigners or help them answer their questions even.
Well, what happens this fall if we don't have enough football officials? Do we see games on Thursday or Saturday or Wednesday or whatever day?
I have 11 schools. All the schools in the Second Region that play football except for Henderson County, and they use the Big 8. And I have Todd County. I have 10 middle schools. And just to give you an example, I like 4 of my middle school schedules. Right now, there are 126 games in 11 weeks that are going to require a minimum of 575 officials. There's one Friday night when there are 7 games. Last year when we ran into that, we had some Saturday games. This year there are already on the schedule a varsity game on a Thursday night and 2 varsity games on Saturday. Schools are looking. One of them is because Christian County and Hoptown are both playing home the same week, so Christian County's going to play on Thursday, Hoptown's going to play on Friday.
Yeah.
Webster's got a Saturday game. I think Todd may have a Saturday game, but I will go. I meet with the ADs on Wednesday, June the 8th, and I'll present this schedule to them and then ask for their help. The other thing that number of 575 doesn't include is the schools that like to have 7 people. Caldwell, Coach Barnes prefers 7 officials because he likes to throw it. So that's 12 more bodies that I throw onto that 575. We are able to borrow from other regions. Right now, the first region they still go by WKC. They're the only ones that may have more officials than they do schools. Fulton City, I don't think is going to play again, so that's 9 schools that he has to assign. But the Big 8 has 12 schools. The Sky has 13, and they're short just like I am as with officials. We swap around. I think there's 1 week when I have 3 games. The rest of the time, it's either 5, 6, or 7.
Yeah, Scott, we've kind of seen your Sports Edge schedule change this spring quite a bit because there have been games where there just weren't enough officials to go around.
That's true. And something else we saw locations host multiple games where 2 schools would drive to another location because that's where the officials were. And that way the officials could call a varsity game at 5:30. They would cancel the JV game, and then at 7:30, 2 other schools play a varsity game because that's where the officials were. And that's the first time I've seen that. And I think there was twice I saw that happen this year in baseball and softball.
And Matt Bell and Alfred Williams both tried to do what they could. Tennessee has gone to allowing 1 umpire for non-varsity contests.
Really? Wow.
With their shortage, just so the kids can play. I have a couple friends that umpire one in the Nashville area and one in the Jackson, Tennessee area. They've been at it a long time, but they were at a game where at that nice new ballpark there, or not new, but the ballpark at Jackson where there's multiple fields. They were there and had 3 fields going, and then when it came to JV, a couple of the guys weren't going to do JV games, so they did all 3 JV games, 1 man behind the plate. And then, of course, he did tell me that the coaches were understanding. There was probably less arguing and controversy because they knew, well, there's only 1 guy out here and we're getting to play.
Right.
But Kentucky, to my knowledge, has not allowed one umpire for any varsity contests yet.
Is that something that maybe is coming down the road at some point? And, of course, that was my next question is when you have 1 umpire, where does he set up?
Most of the time in high school, they're sitting up behind the plate.
Okay.
And then just come out as much as they can to see what's going on in the rest of the diamond.
Well, hopefully we'll find some officials and we won't have these problems, but like we mentioned, we've seen it some already in baseball and softball where we had to move people around. And I know last fall there were some soccer matches that got moved to Wednesday, which is a day that a lot of schools don't like to play, but that was the only day officials were available.
Well, and we had a meeting with our policy. Well, the policy board had a meeting with all the assigners back in May. Keith Green from Mayfield is the assigner for both the first and the second region in soccer, and that was one of the things that they discussed with Keith is recruiting, getting more people involved in it. And Keith was a little outspoken, and he says one of their problems is similar to mine. Soccer fans apparently are a little rough to work for sometimes, and it's a confined environment, or ours is here. Not all fields are as confined as ours. But we've been expected to turn our ears off and just referee, but it's not the same environment, Todd, that it once was. That hey Blue or come on ref or whatever. It gets a little more personal than that sometimes. And for what we're being paid right now, and having to buy gas this fall is going to be. I already have officials that say they don't want to travel more than 30 miles. Well, one of them's in Union County. So if he's only going to travel 30 miles, there's only 3 schools he can work at for me.
Yeah. Well, mentioning soccer, people are just a little bit closer to you, I think.
Yes, sir.
In football, most of the stadiums are up away from you, and if somebody's yelling, maybe you don't hear it as much. But or at least you can ignore it a little easier. But when somebody is right there on the sideline, it's kind of hard to ignore that.
Yes, sir. In basketball, Dwight.
I find soccer interesting because most of the parents probably don't know the rules like they do baseball or football, and they still want to harp at the officials. And I've seen that at matches where, the parent will be yelling something at the official, and us being on the field, the official's is just kind of talking to himself, or the coach saying, no, that's not right, and the coach they don't know the rules. And I'm not saying that's the case all the time, but if you're as an official, it's one thing to hear it from a fan. It's another thing to hear it from a fan when they're wrong. And there's only so much of that you can take, after a while and there are some parents who at some point have forgotten that soccer is a contact sport. Middle schoolers can't play varsity soccer because the KHSAA's ruled it a contact sport. Kids are going to run into each other. They're going to be aggressive in taking the ball. But to hear some of the fans at these games, it's like they're supposed to be in bubbles, playing in bubble wrap. And I get it. I get why there's a constant source of frustration amongst the officials. Listening to it, especially from the soccer end of it.
And Scott, one of the things that in my few years of officiating that I've noticed is kids have a way of taking on not just their coach's attitude, but they can also take on their parents' attitude a little bit. If dad's up there hollering and screaming about the contact or whatever, you'll see a kid react sometimes out on the field, and then if they get a card or yellow card, then that even agitates the parent even more. But one of the things that our policy board is, and the policy board in the second region, well, in all 16 regions in the state of Kentucky, the policy board is made up of the athletic directors of all the schools now. That changed several years ago. And one of the things our policy board is looking at is a way for administration to take a more active role in crowd control. Not wait till the official points out that parent on the sideline of a soccer match and says they've got to go. That if the administration, whoever's the game administrator, will come and get involved earlier, then maybe that takes some of the pressure off of the official to do that. And my comment in the AD's meeting is those people are fans from their schools usually that they know. They paid their $5 to get in, so that turns their license into, I can say what I want to say, but we have some really good athletic directors and administrators in our school systems, even at the middle school level. Scott, I know you know Cy. Cy has been a great help to me at Trigg County Middle School. He's trying to do some things to change the environment over there so the kids, when they get on to the next level, they're doing good. So those type of things are positive on the school side.
Well, Jay, as an official, how much do you expect to hear? I mean, nobody's ever going to officiate a game and not hear something from somebody, whether it's a coach or a player. Just when you're out there, what can you let go, and at what point does it become, hey, that's too much?
Mine, and unfortunately, I'm refereeing for grandchildren now in some of my instances. So people, if they know you, it's not ref or whatever or stripes or blue, it's Jay. That becomes personal. I can turn it off depending on who it is and what school you're at and what's going on. But at the same time, society's become a little more picky about what people say to others. And I think that this younger generation, there's too many things out there you can do to make $50 without having to drive 40 miles and referee a middle school game, be there for 4 hours and drive 50 miles back home, you get $80. But in my case, basketball's a little easier for me because you're out there. There's a little noise in the crowd. Football's pretty easy. I don't do spring sports, but I think the mental attitude is if you go into it and just try to block it all out. I'm deaf in my left ear, so if I can turn that left ear to the stands, I'm okay. But the right side's a little tentative. But the personal stuff, and coaches can get personal too, and not let some coaches in our area are getting better. The sideline rule has helped. I mean, the rule's always been there. It just wasn't enforced. But keeping them back out of the box a little bit and not being afraid to put that first sideline warning on a coach for verbal unsportsmanship because it's no penalty. It's just a warning. So you get your warning. But it's I don't do the spring sports, but I understand Matt and Boogie have a pretty good handle on their coaches right now in spring sports.
We're talking this morning with Jay Davis and Scott Brown. Need to get to a break here on the Sideline Report, but we'll roll on with more right after this here on 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
Treasured, remembered. For over 100 years, they have been serving the Princeton area with beautiful flower arrangements, custom wreaths, gifts, and more. West Locust Street.
From the Weather Edge Weather Center, 60% chance of showers, thunderstorms today, a high near 74 degrees. 50% chance of scattered showers, thunderstorms tonight, low 56. Scattered showers on Friday with a high temperature up to 70 degrees. Sunshine back in the forecast Saturday with a high near 78. Once again, our forecast for today, 60% chance of showers, thunderstorms, today's high 74.
If you're involved in an auto accident, it's your choice where your vehicle is repaired. Some insurance companies refer you to pro shops because they give the insurance company discounts. But with those discounts, the insurance company has input on the parts used and might not always use what is best. At Trice Used Body Shop, they're not partnered with an insurance company, but they give the same lifetime limited warranty to the person who owns the vehicle at the time of repairs. Visit Trice Hughes in Princeton for your vehicle repairs.
Fish not biting for you? Head to Willow Pond in Eddyville. The fish is always fine. Catfish or cod, fried or grilled. Maybe it's shrimp or frog legs you're craving. They've got that too.
Excuse me, announcer guy? I'm not really a fish lover.
No problem, ma'am. You'll find lots of other choices like chicken, burgers, even steaks and salads. And homemade cobblers for dessert.
Perfect. Thanks, Mr. Announcer Guy.
You're welcome. And ma'am, my favorite part is the beans and hush puppies.
Willow Pond of Eddyville on Highway 62, Eddyville, Kentucky. Like them on Facebook.
Welcome back to the Sideline Report here at 1580, 103.3 WPKY. Jay Davis is in the studio with us this morning. We've got Scott Brown on the phone. And Scott, getting back to the regional baseball and softball tournaments, that was a comeback for the ages for Christian County the other night over in Hopkinsville.
Yeah, it really was. For them to be able to do what they did in the late innings, 8 runs in the last 2 innings, with a young team. We're not talking about a team full of seniors. We're talking about one senior and, the rest of them, freshmen, sophomores, couple of juniors, and even a middle schooler in there as well. You can't say enough about the job that Cole Isom and his staff have done this year. 8-20 last year, and turn it around this year and get a region title.
Regent Softball coming up Saturday now after action was postponed last night. It'll be Madisonville North Hopkins and Henderson County at 4 o'clock. Caldwell County plays Christian County at 6 o'clock. The championship game is now set for 1 o'clock Monday up in Henderson. And Jay, interesting situation the other night when I was at Henderson at the regional softball tournament. The umpires from the first game kind of hung around for the second game. And, of course, each game had 3, I believe. There was a situation where there was a runner on second base, and the crew that was on the field was just a little out of position. And the guys from the first game were about to give it to them, but then they figured it out before the next pitch and got in the right spot. So I just thought it was kind of interesting that the guys were like, hey, they're not in the right spot. But they got it all figured out.
Yeah. It's tough when you don't work 3, but at tournament time.
Yeah.
That's what we first went into when we went to 7-man. Nobody knew the 2 deep positions till They were just thrown out there to learn. But we're getting better. We're getting better.
Well, does that go back to the shortage of officials that we didn't get to see 3 during the season?
Yes, sir. And schools they want 3. A lot of times in baseball, until Matt went into his shortage, a lot of the schools wanted 3 for their district games.
Okay.
And that's what we did way back when in basketball. When we went to 3, they would get them for their district games, and that way we could do some training. Now it's 3 for all basketball games. So, just one thing here. I've got a meeting scheduled for anybody that's interested in football, middle school or high school. And the meeting is on Wednesday, June the 1st. We're going to meet at Caldwell County High School in the auditorium, and the meeting starts at 6:30. We maybe be there an hour or so. A lot of the current staff will be there also, but it's for anybody that wants to garner some knowledge about middle school or high school officiating for football. And I also have contact information for Keith Green with soccer. Chuck Standiford is the volleyball assigner for the second region now. Dwayne Crick is still the assigner for basketball. Alfred Boogie Williams assigned softball, and Matt Bell baseball. So if anybody has an interest in any of those sports and want to come to that meeting on June the 1st, I can share information with them, either contact or pay, or how you go about registering with the Kentucky High School Athletic Association.
All right, good deal. Jay, I appreciate you coming in and being on the show today.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
That's Jay Davis. And Scott, busy time coming up for your Sports Edge. I guess we'll all be heading up to Lexington next week for different state sports events.
Right. State tennis is first. They have not released the brackets yet. I expect that to be in the next day or two. First round play gets underway Tuesday. I'm pretty sure if the rotation holds true, the boys will play on the campus of the University of Kentucky outside, although they do have an indoor facility where they can get some matches in if it rains, but you can't get all of them in because there's not enough courts inside. And then the girls will play at top seed tennis in Nicholasville, which is about, 5 or 6 miles away from UK, and it is all indoor. And it's a nice facility. It gets a little cramped in there, but still a nice indoor facility. You don't have to worry about the weather, wind conditions. You just have to hope you got the air conditioning at your back. And so if the rotation holds true, the boys will be outside this year. The girls will be inside at top seed tennis, at least for the first, couple of rounds. And then I think everybody moves outside for the championships there as well. And then, of course, next week also Thursday, Friday, and Saturday are your state track meets. Class 1A is on Thursday. Class 2A, which will include Caldwell and Trigg, is on Friday. And then Class 3A is Saturday. And Todd, looking right now, unofficially, Caldwell County had 4 entries into the tournament, boys and girls. And then, of course, what they do then is they take the next 10, either fastest times or longest distance, and the high jump, highest heights. But they take the next 10 for at-large bids. And right now, Caldwell County's in line to have 7 at-large bids for both for boys and girls. So there could be 11 entries for Caldwell County at state track meet next Friday.
That'll be great. Have more Caldwell County entrants up there and athletes at the state tournament. And, of course, we'll have it all over at yoursportsedge.com. Be sure and head over there and check out everything from the regional tournaments this week. Scott, appreciate you coming on the show this week.
Always good talking to you, Todd.
All right, thanks, Scott. That's Scott Brown. Again, thanks to Jay Davis. Thanks to Shane Burns for joining us on the show today. That's going to wrap us up here on the Sideline Report. This is Todd Griffin of WPKY Radio and yoursportsedge.com. Thanks for joining us here on 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
WPKY, Princeton. Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. Today would have been the last day of school in Uvalde, Texas. Last night and today, the bodies of 19 children and 2 teachers shot and killed Tuesday are being released to funeral homes. The gunman was shot and killed by Border Patrol. Border Patrol Chief Raul Ortiz tells Fox.
You had one of the agents that was holding the shield, and then several agents, along with some of the other officers, were engaging the subject.
And some witnesses outside the school say parents were begging police to rush in during the shooting. A new government estimate's out of how much the economy shrank in the first quarter of the year.
Worse than expected, down 1.5% when it comes to U.S. GDP. We've had some negative economic data. The big question is whether this data slows the economy enough that we can wring out some of this 40-year highs on inflation.
Jerry Willis with Fox Business. New weekly unemployment claims are down 8,000 at 210,000. America's listening to Fox News.
Hey, honey.
Hey, Mom. How did Jordan's interview go?
I'm not sure. Your brother isn't home yet. Oh, one sec. Someone's at the door.
Are you Mrs. Lewis?
Yes?
Mrs. Lewis, I'm Officer Taylor. Your son was in a crash and has died.
What?
He wasn't wearing his seatbelt and was ejected from the vehicle.
No. No.
Mom, is everything okay? Mom, answer.
Don't risk it. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
Something you probably do know. Progressive can not only offer you a